Welcome to another video in my live video series. I'm doing them almost every single day now, and I absolutely love it. I've been getting a lot of good feedback, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate all the comments. As you can see, today we're going to be speaking about the fact that nothing happens without a reason. Everything is happening in your life for a particular reason, even if you're not aware of it. Let's start off with a story. Yesterday, I went on this trip where I hung out with a bunch of people 40 minutes out of town. I took an Uber there. We did a little bit of co-working. I met a bunch of interesting new people. Everything was perfect. And then I tried to come back home, which is Chiang Mai, and that was 40 minutes away. And I realized that not only are there no Ubers or taxis that want to take me back, but if I did take a taxi with the hotel that we were at, it would cost me 600 baht, which is $20, which is insanity. Because for a 40-minute drive, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get back home? How is this going to happen? And why is this happening right now? Like my first question with everything that happens to me is, why is this happening? And I always ask myself, what is the lesson here? No matter what is going on in my life, there is always a lesson that the universe is sending me. It might be a tiny lesson like, pay attention, you're stumbling all over the place, you're not paying attention to what's going on, be present. Or it might be a big lesson like, stop doing something that your heart doesn't want to do. Stop just doing random things, follow your heart, follow your bliss, whatever it might be, right? So there's always a lesson in it. And so I'm sitting there and I am thinking, what is the lesson here? Why is the universe not letting me get back home? And at first, obviously, I started with anxiety and doubt and fear, all of those negative emotions. And then as soon as I started thinking logically and being more consciously aware of it, all of a sudden I was thinking to myself, okay, obviously I'm going to be able to get back home. Even if it's necessary to pay 600 baht, I would have done it because I have the money for it. If I need to get back home, I'm not going to stay there overnight. So I would do it. But then what is the lesson here? And then so I slowed down. And I think that was a lesson for me at that point. There were other lessons as well that I'm not going to share with you. But at that point, it was like, slow down, think logically. You are an intelligent being. You've traveled all over the world. How do you get from one spot to another? And miraculously in my head, I hadn't even considered taking a bus back home, which is so crazy. I'm thinking to myself, how can I not even think about taking a bus home? Because it's just, I haven't taken buses here at all. I've only been taking taxis and things like that. And it's so funny how unaware I've become of that. So all of a sudden I was like, oh, I can take a bus home. Instantaneous light bulb. I talked to the people in the hotel. They're like, yeah, there's a bus station. It's a yellow truck. It comes intermittently. You just have to go to the spot and we can give you a ride there for free. Perfection. The universe, again, is on my side. It was always on my side, but it's now helping me get to where I want to get to because I'm actually thinking straight, because I'm slowing down and having a conversation with the universe, figuring out what I want to do rather than haphazardly doing things without thinking about it. Slowing down really helped at that point, being present, being conscious. And before that, I think I was just playing it unconscious. I was like, oh, the Grab isn't working, Uber isn't working, what am I going to do? I'm never going to get back home. Right? Being completely unconscious, completely crazy in my head. So that was a lesson there. But if I had been the person that I was a few years ago, I would have just assumed that the universe hates me, everyone dislikes me, the world is horrible, life is horrible, blah, blah, blah. I would have all these negative thoughts because I wouldn't realize that there was a lesson in this particular situation, as it is in everything. Everything that we do, everything that's happening around us, even the most mundane of things, every stranger that we pass by, every little thing that happens, every stumble that we go through, every failure that we have, every mistake that we do, everything that we purchase, everything that is in our life, every person that's in our life. I mean, I can go on, but every single thing is happening for a reason. There are no coincidences, guys. There are no coincidences. If we realize that, we can really tap into that intelligence, that collective consciousness that's trying to give us all the directions through all of these random little signs and signals. The real thing that you guys have to remember is that the universe is playful. The universe is like a little child. It's really intelligent, but it behaves in a way where it doesn't want to give you the answers right out. Like it doesn't want to give you like a manifesto on how your life is going to go. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to do. This is how it's going to go. This is what you have to do. It doesn't want to do that. It wants you to learn and grow and evolve. It wants you to become a better human being. It wants you to become bigger than you actually are. So it's not going to give you a manifesto on this is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. It's going to give you all these random coincidences. It's going to give you all these random little lessons wrapped in a little bow where you're a lot of times not even aware that it's a lesson, that you're being told by the universe what you're supposed to be doing. Do you know what I'm saying? So we really, really need to be consciously aware in every single moment. And that's the reason I think I spend so much of my time resting and sleeping nowadays, because I spend so much of my time being conscious during the day. Because being conscious is tiring, guys. It's exhausting. It's mentally, physically exhausting. Every night I've noticed I fall into bed and I'm asleep in seconds. In seconds. I'll put my head on my pillow and I'm like, it's so nice to be asleep. I'm done. I'm like asleep. Because I'm spending so much of my day in such conscious awareness that is exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. When people tell me they can survive on 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I'm thinking to myself, are you actually going through your life being absolutely unconscious like a zombie? Because it's the only way I could actually go through my life and not sleep like 8 or 9 hours, which is what I need. I actually need that much sleep because I need that much time to recover physically, mentally, spiritually. All of those lessons that I'm integrating during the day, I need time at night to integrate them. And I need a certain amount of time to sleep in order to integrate all those lessons. I can't do it in 4 or 5 hours. I can't do it in 3 hours. I can't do it in 6 hours. I need the complete spectrum of sleep in order to integrate all of the lessons and to just recover from the exhausting day. Because when you're conscious all the time and you're really aware of what's going on, when you're really present, you're really intense. You're really going through your life being that intense individual. And when you're being that intense, you can't just sleep for 4 hours a night. It's just not possible. You really, really, not only are you taking care of what you're eating, because literally have to be conscious about if you don't eat enough, you're going to go into that spiral where you're basically killing yourself. You're not going to be aware anymore. You're going to become unconscious. So you have to eat constantly. You have to sleep properly. You have to take naps a lot of times. A lot of times I take naps nowadays. Even though my life is, simpler, I need naps because as soon as I'm awake from the time I take the nap to the time I go to sleep, I am so conscious. I'm so aware of what's going on. I'm so intensely aware of what's going on. Because I'm constantly looking for ideas. I'm constantly looking for signs and signals from the universe. What is the lesson in this moment? What's going on right now? How am I feeling? What is the lesson right now? What's going on right now? So constantly being aware of things that are going on in each and every moment, getting those lessons, integrating them, writing about it, making sure that I am consistently aware of what's going on, right? But like I say, at the end of the day, after I've been intensely aware of everything all day long, I'm exhausted. And so I really realize those are the days where I've been really, really conscious and I've been really, really aware of things. Some days I go to bed and I'm not tired. And I realized that those were the days where I was not being conscious. I was being a zombie. I was roaming around the world, not really paying attention to what's going on. And then it doesn't exhaust me. I'm not tired on those days. So it's actually a sign, a signal, like a litmus test of what are you doing, what are you going through in your life, etc. So coming back to the fact that everything is happening for a reason and that the universe is sending you all these signs and signals, the universe wants us to learn. And I'm sure you guys realize that as well, that it's not here to just put us into the world and we just kind of dilly-dally through it and then we die. That's not the reason for it. I mean, we're here for a reason. If you believe it, then there's a reason you're here. There's a purpose you're supposed to fulfill. There's stuff you're supposed to learn. Your soul is going through these reincarnations over and over again because you have lessons to learn. We go through the same relationships over and over again because we have lessons to learn. We go through the same situations, patterns in a cycle repetitively because we have lessons to learn. Our soul, our spirit is here to learn a lesson. And not just one lesson, thousands of lessons. And we go through these reincarnations over and over again. If you believe in that, again, I do, obviously. I believe that I've been through several lifetimes already, and I have a lot more to go because I'm still so imperfect, and I still have so much to learn. So constantly learning, constantly the universe is sending you all these lessons. And hopefully, through these lessons, you'll be able to grow and get that lesson and integrate it into yourself. And then you'll be able to step up and move and level up to that next lesson that is in your series. Basically, it's like university. you pass one course and you do great at it, awesome, perfect, but it's not over. University isn't done if you pass one course. You still have the next course that you have to do. And you do that next course. It's a little bit, it's like a level 2 course, mostly, most likely. It's a little bit harder and there's more learning, more gathering. And then you pass that course, but it's not over yet, right? You keep on going over and over and over again. You keep on leveling up. Each year it gets harder and harder and harder because you're becoming better and better. Your critical skill, thinking skills are improving, whatever it might be. And so the university of life is exactly the same. We go through lessons, we learn a particular lesson, we integrate it, we're whooping over it, we're like, oh my God, I'm so awesome, I learned this lesson, I'm great. And then the universe is like, yeah, you're great, but let's go on, let's keep on moving. This is not the end of it. You still have a long way to go. And then so you learn another lesson, and then you whoop it up, you're like, awesome, I'm so great, blah, blah, blah. And then you get another lesson. So you keep on going through the university of life, the courses keep on coming at you. The interesting thing, though, is in a university, you're actually there to learn, so you're really aware of what are the lessons that you're supposed to be getting. In life, a lot of people don't realize that these are lessons that you're supposed to be getting, and so they're unconscious. They don't actually realize that we're here to learn, that things are coming at us for a reason, and so they become unconscious. They're not really paying attention to the lessons that are coming at us, so they don't integrate it. That's the reason we keep on going through the same patterns over and over and over again, not because the universe is like, you're stupid. It's because the universe is like, okay, you have learned the lesson maybe a little bit, but I think there's more to learn. So I'm going to send you through the pattern over and over again until you completely integrate it into your skill, into your soul, into your spirit, and then I'll send you over to the next lesson that's there. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope that makes sense. This is how I think of the universe. I feel like in my world, I'm playing a game with the universe. The universe and I are playing hopscotch or, I don't know, tic-tac-toe. We're playing a game together. The universe and I are partners in this world that I live in, and the universe wants to help me, but it doesn't want to just give me things. Because remember this, guys, if you're just given things, do you really appreciate them? I don't. And I know I really, really, when I work at it in a effortless effort way, then I really, really, really love my stuff. I really integrate it better. And so whenever I get these brilliant lessons, I really am conscious. So a lot of times the parents are like, why do you actually have to go through all these lessons yourself? We've been through everything. We want to give you all of our learnings. And I tell them, I can't gather intelligence that way. I have to practically do things in order to learn. I cannot learn from other individuals' lessons. I have to get the lessons myself. Of course, I read a lot of books and I integrate that stuff, but I really, really try to practically put that into effect so I can really, really get that lesson perfectly. Because until I actually learn it practically, until I actually feel it, until I actually live it, it doesn't really work for me. I don't know how it is for you. Maybe you can actually just learn or read about a lesson and actually integrate it, but for me, I actually have to deal with it physically. Again, I hope this makes sense to you. This is already a very long video because I have so much to say on this subject, but I hope that this makes sense to you. If you guys have any questions at all, obviously, please message me anytime, and please share this with your group, with your friends, with your Facebook page, whoever you feel would find it useful. And if you guys have any specific topics that you're looking to learn about, if there are any specific topics that you want me to speak about, that you really liked, that you want me to expound on, please, please, please put it in the comments and I will speak a little bit more on that. So I hope that you guys have an amazing day, an amazing night wherever you are. Bye for now.